Hey guys, Merrick here with the Movement Real Estate Group, and we are doing the movement report for the month of September. I can't believe how fast time has gone by this year. It seems like moments ago we were in February in a red hot market, and then all of a sudden here we are, fast forward, summer's over, kids are back in school, and we are looking at stats from August for the month of September. So let's jump into it. I'll try to keep this one as quick as possible and respect everyone's time. Let's go. So in July, sales in Abbotsford for all property types, we had 136 transactions. That number fell to 117 transactions in the month of August, all property types in Abbotsford. We are down 47% for transactional volume in this month. So typically we would see around 221 transactions. We're all the way down at 117. Very, very low. Last year, in the same month, we had 272 transactions. So we're down 57%, almost 60% transactional volume, which is staggering, obviously. In the month of July, active listings, we were sitting around 1,000 active listings, all property types in Abbotsford. Last month, we had 934. So we had 934 listings active in August in Abbotsford, all property types. That's actually down about 5.6% from our 10-year average. And so, we are still a little bit below what our 10-year average is, but we are way up from where we were last year for inventory. We were up 77% from last year. Huge uptick in listings. So that's good to see, and that's going to help us get into a balanced market, which we'll talk about. In July, new listings, we had 342, down to 306 in the month of August. Typically we would be around 331 for new listings in the month of August. That's the 10-year average. And so we're 10% below average, but we're still 12% above where we were last year. So we're seeing a bit more new listings on the market. Again, still below where we would normally see it. Let's talk about pricing and what's happening in the communities that surround Abbotsford in the Eastern Fraser Valley, where Michaela and I focus. Surrey, the detached market at a high in March was 1,895,800. So that was the HBI price for Surrey, your average detached home. That has fallen all the way to 1.655 million. So it's down almost $240,000 or 12.6%. So a huge fall. Now, if you'll remember, during COVID, Surrey didn't rise as much as the very Eastern Fraser Valley. So Chilliwack, Mission, Abbotsford rose more in value. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit here. Townhouses in Surrey down 13%. Apartments down 9.5%. Langley, we're seeing houses fall $262,000 or 14% in Langley since March. Not a long time, guys. That's a lot of money. Let's see here. Townhouses 6% down. Apartments 5.6% down. I expect those to fall a little bit more. You're seeing 14% on houses in Langley. I wouldn't be surprised if you see townhouses and apartments kind of come up and match that loss. So let's take a look what's happening on that in the next couple months. Mission. So in Mission, unbelievable drop. 25% value of your home in Mission has dropped since March. In March, a high of $1.342 million, down $341,000. And you're sitting just over $1 million now for a residential detached home in Mission, down 25% since March. Townhouses down 7.5%. Apartments down 3.8%. Again, I see those falling a little bit more. I think those prices are a little inflated based on how much housing has come down. We will see. I don't like to predict too much, but I always end up doing it. So sorry, guys. Abbotsford, what a drop. 19.4% for a detached home in Abbotsford. The homes that were sitting before were 1.524 million. They've dropped almost $300,000, 295 to be exact, to $1.228 million. So we're down 19.4% in Abbotsford on home prices. Townhouses down 7.4%. Apartments down 9%. We might see that kind of equalize a little bit as well. In Chilliwack, best for last, maybe we'll see. Chilliwack down 25%. Chilliwack's highest median price was $1,110,000. That number has fallen $277,000 to $832,000. So insane drops here on prices for Mission, Abbotsford, Chilliwack. Let me finish off Chilliwack before I give you my thoughts here. Townhouses down 29%. I didn't stutter. That is not a typo. They're down 29%. So if you owned a townhouse in February, it was worth $775. It's fallen $225,000 to $550K. Again, that's HPI price. Well, in Chilliwack, sorry, it's the median price. So it's your kind of your average sales price. Average of the average if you want to get really specific. And in apartments have gone down 19.6%. So that's kind of more of what I expect the fall to be for Abbotsford and Mission, because it's kind of more in line, it's more balanced. When you see something falling 25% and then you're seeing, apartments only falling 6%, there's got to be a little bit more give there, because people are getting more for the money than the townhouse buyers now getting into a house. So it's less of a spread. So that's kind of why I see those ones falling a little bit more, but time will tell. I mean, it's really kind of insane what's been happening with COVID. We saw cheap money. We saw a big push from people, leaving the city because, what are you living in the city for? All the apartments, you're living in an apartment, the restaurants were shut down, the clubs were shut down. So people wanted space, they wanted a yard, they wanted, a little bit more. So we saw this influx in prices pushing into the eastern Fraser Valley. But now COVID's kind of over, money is getting tightened. Bank of Canada raised another 75 basis points today, another rise coming in October 26th, I'll bet. So we're seeing quantitative tightening at a national level, which is putting a real pressure on price, because buyers can't buy as much anymore. And I've talked about that in our previous videos. If you have questions about that, reach out to me and I'll send you that video. Listen, guys, we focus on the eastern Fraser Valley. We like to stay on our side of the Fraser River, but we really have answers for you. If you're somewhere you want questions or something like that answered, reach out. It's interesting to see what's happening in the market right now. I think we're going to get into a bit of a normalization. That would be my speculation. We might even see a bit of a whiplash effect in spring, which I talked about. You've got qualified buyers kind of waiting on the sidelines, seeing when the bottom is, and when prices start to normalize for a few months, they all kind of jump in at the same time, and boom, we're right back into this rising market again. So we'll see. Obviously, with money being harder to get, and people, the qualification level is harder. Obviously, if the base rate is up, that means the qualification rate is up, the stress test is up. So it is harder for people to buy, for sure. So we'll see kind of what happens here in the next few months. But it's been an interesting 2 years here since COVID in our local market. Again, if you have questions, again, my name is Merrick. Reach out. We're happy to help. Merrick Movement Real Estate Group. Thanks for your time, guys.